Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. This just in, video games are popular. Join me now in October 1982 where we play the hottest video games. We were last on the Atari home computer checking out Pool 400. Let's see what is next. Coming up next, we're going to go to the arcade in Japan to play the brand new Pooyan. Pooyan, I don't know what they're smoking with that game, but apparently I've been told it stands for Little Pigs in Japanese. Let's see what's up with Pooyan in the arcade, starting with the advertisement flyer. So this one was released first in Japan by Konami. This one marks our 24th game we've seen by Konami, 18 that we played in the arcade, including Astro Invader, Frogger, Super Cobra, Amadar, Jungler, Strategy X, Turtles, and Tutankhamun. And you can see this advertisement flyer is when it was released in North America by Stern Electronics. Yeah, and here you go. This one is more akin to what you would have seen. Beat wolves using arrows and meat. That's how you market a video game. It even has a little story. Look at that lore for an arcade game. Very, very bizarre, especially on the advertisement flyer. This game only has 2 scenes, so I don't know how much of an advertisement that would be to say, this is a video game with only 2 scenes, considering, Donkey Kong's out there with 4. There you go, you got the pig's house and the wolf's lair, if you happen to make it that far. Here's another advertisement flyer boasting the arcade cabinet as well. It even has, look at all this story. One day in the forest, the first attack, the second attack, and then even bonuses. And this was what they had in North America by Stern. Wow, amazing. I know, right? We need to beat everyone with arrows and meat. There's an example of the arcade cabinet. Very, very classic. Looks shiny and new. And I wish that was how it was if we were going to Japan right now to play it. This is, of course, the Stern or North American arcade cabinet. There's another example of the arcade cabinet. If you look down at your control panel, we have a joystick with only 1 button, I believe, for fire. Yeah. And it's only a 2-way joystick. So save on the cost for your arcade cabinets. You just go up and down and fire to play Pooyan. There's the arcade marquee that was in North America. Notice the top right here. Look at the Chuck E. Cheese. It says made especially for Chuck E. Cheese. Apparently the story goes that this game was made, like ported over from Stern to be put in all the Chuck E. Cheeses. So if this one looks familiar, chances are you played it first in North America in Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, there you go. There's the Stern advertisement flyer. I don't know. Look at the front. It's so freaky with the wolf on it. I wouldn't want to put that in the Chuck E. Cheese. It'll scare all the little children away. No, right? And then we have an alternate advertisement flyer, a little more artwork, and an example of the screenshot. Here's the operator manual or installation operator manual for Pooyan when it came over in North America. The objective of the game is to save little pigs from the wolves. You have the fire button that shoots arrows or throws meat from the cage. You can shoot arrows straight out from the cage to pop balloons, and then the meat is thrown by pushing the fire button. The first time, you throw it and it kind of lobs down. The meat will pop all the balloons it touches on the way down. And there's an example of some points, and it has, even here in the operator manual, look at the information they give for the game. That's amazing. Usually arcades are just, you play it. You have to figure it out yourself. It breaks down the bonus stage and how that one works, and then it goes into all the technicality of the operator's manual as per the usual. So this one had other versions besides this one. The Stern was North America, Pooyan in Japan, but there's another version called Pootan. Pootan, who would name a video game Pootan? All right, let's go and play some Pooyan. This is by Tokoro Fujiwara, Konami originally, and then later by Stern at sometime at the beginning of October 1982. Tokoro Fujiwara's first video game ever, and he's going to go on to make games such as Commando, Ghosts and Goblins, Bionic Commando, Mega Man 2, and etc. Here it is, the very first video game that he made. All right, so this one marks our 464th arcade game we've played here on Chronologically Gaming. That's how many arcade games could be out there right now that you could be playing. This one has stiff competition, especially when you consider all those hot new games over in Japan. All right, let's put a coin in and see what it's about. Oh, and also notice at the top, Chuck E. Cheese is here because you might have been playing this one in Chuck E. Cheese if it was in North America. Yeah, I know. All right, let's go ahead and start. And we're in. Even that story. I mean, take it away. Donkey Kong with the cutscenes. Now we have one day in the forest. Oh, the wolves are grabbing all the children. and we as Pooyan must save them, which means we're playing as the mom to take them out. Oh, here we go. Let's pick up the meat and then go straight down. Oh, I missed the shot. Let's see if we can get... There we go. Nice. Oh, they're giving me lots of meat because I believe I have the dip switch set for the easy mode. Get it. Yes, there we go. So it's very familiar with the other shooters we played. You move only 2 directions and you fire. But this marks the very first arcade game we've ever played that you only move up and down and fire. And I say arcade because we've seen this on home computers, but Pooyan in the arcade is the only game so far that allows only up and down movement and fire. Now, we played other ones that allowed you to, you know, go around the edges like Navarone, or around a loop, you know, like Tempest. And we've even had a few shooters that weren't classified as fixed shooters. They were more like a shooting gallery. And you could say that this is close to a shooting gallery. I mean, think of the games back in the 70s where you were a Jeep or a tank just moving up and down or left and right like M16. Those existed too. Oh yeah, all the ports, Curtis, we're going to see all those too. This is the very first time we've seen Pooyan here on the show. Number of pigs taken was 2. Oh, there they go. And look, we got pigs playing the drums and then Pooyan chasing after him. All right, so we're on the next one. Bust all the balloons, and now we got to do reverse. Take them out before they get to the top. So gameplay is fairly simple, but it does the shooter genre justice. I mean, it plays really fun, and you can obviously see how colorful it is. We're now to the point where you're not looking at a piece of a pie like Pac-Man. You can make out, oh, it's a pig. It kind of looks like a pig. And while gameplay is simple, it is very responsive and very fun to play. I don't want to pick up that meat yet. Let's see if I can get these guys. There we go, nice. And there's a little ditty playing off in the background. If I was in the arcade, I would probably still go for Frogger if I was going to pick a Konami title. Because this one isn't doing anything ridiculously amazing. You know, it's cuter, I guess. But I mean, Galaga's out there. Galaga's the cooler shooter. But I'm sure this got more quarters because they wanted to see. I mean, who's ever seen a pig shoot arrows before? I mean, here you go. What's my firepower like? Yeah, there we go. Shoot them all away. I didn't expect to hit him. I'm always aiming for the balloons instead of the wolves themselves. Oh, he's blocking them all. No! That seems cheap. We got one wolf up there at the top. As usual, most arcade games have div switches. You can make this adjustments. I've set it for 5 lives, and this is the easy mode, but you can play on harder difficulties. Most operators change the difficulty because, you know, if people are getting really good scores or not dying or putting enough quarters in, you just change the div switch to a harder difficulty. There we go, Mama Pooyan. Save the kids. I'm already looking over the chat. I see one already rating a 3.5 or above average rating of all the games you could play in the arcade. I mean, it's very, very colorful. And the sound is done very well. Oh, nice. Let me get the bonus round. It's all meat. How long can you go throwing meat to keep them down? And bonus stages are really a new thing. We've only seen a few games that allow where the gameplay switches up or changes to a bonus stage. I really enjoy Galaga's challenging stage, but this is not something we see at home a lot. This is the arcade that does this and gives you a bonus round. We played a game called Swimmer that even had a slot machine that was to break up the action. Oh, and Charlie's got a soft spot for Pooyan. I also like the nuance of whenever you shoot, that you have to get this sweet spot to knock out the balloons when you get to the harder difficulties. All right, we're looking all right for now. I need to go up and grab my meat. Okay, here they come. Now we'll be able to take them out. Take that. Oh, no, I missed one. Oh, it's still a blast to play, even with all those shooters we played. Yeah, what kind of meat are they throwing? Uh-oh, he got one in, 2 in. Oh, I dropped the meat. I dropped the meat! No, the meat they're throwing is obviously beef. I mean, look at it. Or it's ribs. Wait, no, maybe not ribs. Way to go! Almost, and I like the combination. Now we have the wolves on the right side that are going to hit us, or obviously we got hit by a rock, but now the more wolves you let by, they're going to be biting us or trying to get past. We have to lose them. I know, I love that too, Curtis, whenever you can get that really nice lined up shot. It's the joy of combos, which really isn't a term right now. I mean, they use it, but the combo in a video game is just very satisfying. And they're going to catch on and realize that's what people want to play. Oh, is that what it is, Powpuck? That's what we should be. Well, if it's supposed to allure the wolves away, I wouldn't think it would be wolf meat. That'd be kind of cruel, though, wouldn't it? Serves him right for coming after my little pork babies. I mean, look at it. The animation is so charming. Watching yourself fly out when you die, it never gets old. All right, we can put in our score here. Is that the wolves howling in the background? So, as usual, we'll put in 3 initials. CHR should do it. We made 7 feet 10 inches. With, of course, our score. I know, right? This is almost like someone looked at Donkey Kong in Japan, saw the popularity, and said, let's make a game that's just as well done with the animation. That's what this is. Oh, look, there it is. Pooyan, Booyan, and then Mama. They even have the names. And the attract mode's even giving you some tips and tricks. Yeah, you can tell there was a lot of time spent on this game. It's almost like they did quality control, playing a lot of arcade games and seeing which ones would work for the game. Oh, there we go. That's right. That sounds about right, Curtis. All right, so there you go. That's Pooyan. We are not going to play Pootan, the other version that was out there. Pooyan is the one, the most popular one of the arcade games you could play. Now, of all the arcade games you could play right now, I've already seen a couple ratings thrown out in the chat. This one is still very fun to play, but the concept and gameplay is still very simple. It's kind of like when we played King and Balloon, as it moved left and right and shoot. It still looked a lot like Space Invaders, but there was something there that was more special than just Space Invaders. Looking over, I see some, wow, I even got a 5-star rating. One of the best arcade games you could play right now. Punk Rock saying 4. Curtis is throwing out 4. I gotta say, this is great. This is a very well done game and charming, but it doesn't really constitute as one of the best games you could play right now in the arcade. It is very fun, magical. I love it. I love it, Charlie. So it does only have 2 screens, though, and a bonus round, so there's not a lot of content compared to other arcade games that you could play right now. We're going to see this later on the Atari home console, the VCS, later this year, but I'm still going to say in the arcade, this is a 4-star game. If you want to think of the other titles that were ones that were trailblazing other games like Amadar, I would say this plays better and is more fun than Amadar. Pooyan for the win, 4 stars. All right, and with that, let's see what our next title is. We're still hanging out in the arcade, and this is Portman. Let's see what Portman's all about. Starting with the advertisement flyer. We've already played this one. It was called Dockman in the arcade in July 1982 in Japan. And so if you were playing while we were playing the game, it's kind of like when we played the Tarzan game, Jungle King or Jungle Hunt. If we were playing the game and you're like, wait a second, that's not what it's called. Well, maybe Portman is the one you heard. This one we actually have a lot more artwork for. Portman. This one's by Taito. Should play just like Docman, or pretty close to Docman. Got a few screenshots like usual with Taito. Flip it over the back, we have, it says Portman's not a maze game. It's unique. We'll see about that. Has different phases, phase 1 and phase 2, and it calls it a truly exciting and enjoyable game. I'll be sure to remember that one. So this release, Portman, would have been outside of Japan. Docman would have been another title or another way they called the game. Yes, Package Man, whatever you want to call it. This is the only real picture of Portman, at least the arcade, and it's just a terrible arcade cabinet. This one's a manufactured one, so not a real one. And so all you need for this is an 8-way joystick and then a button to catch and a button to throw. If you play with multiple people, just like with Pooyan, you can't play at the same time. It is alternate play. There's the arcade marquee that you'll see at the top. Computran. Have we seen anything more by them? Yeah, we saw Super Tank by Computran in 1981. At least published by them. There's an example of the screenshot. All right, for other versions, well, besides Docman, there was a bootleg on Mooncrest hardware. Let's go to the arcade and play Portman. This is Taito, published by Nova Games and Computran, or originally by Taito. Here now in October 1982. The only other game we've seen by Nova Games was Naughty Mouse in 1981. And this one looks about the part. Take a look at the artwork they got behind me for... for Portman, like being smashed on the head. I think I'm going to keep it here. I like to see myself get smashed in the head because I probably will. All right, let's put a coin in and go. We got a lot more artwork to show off Portman. Not a lot of love for Docman that we played before. Here we go. Push and start. And we're in. You got a button to catch and pick up packages, and then you got a button to throw the packages. We have no jump button. So it's another one of those games, kind of like a panic game or a fixed platformer, where all you do is you move around, but we can catch, we can throw, avoid the... Is that a monkey throwing the rocks at us? At least we hope it's rocks. And then we got to toss them up to the top. Get them lined up. Make sure you time your shot to get them to go in the right spot. Oh, didn't catch that one. So it's a side-scrolling game, not technically a platformer. It's a platformer, but you're not jumping. You know, like, and this one is more like having to time your packages to go to the top. And then catch them and line them up in rows. In a way, now that I'm playing this, I don't know if I noticed this when we played Docman, this feels like we're playing the very first falling block puzzle. Because it's essentially, you know, blocks are falling down, and we have to line them up in the right spot. And then fill up all the rows. So there's a 2. Let's see if we can get the 2 for over there. Make it! Yes! Oh, and if we make it, the monkey falls down. Nice. That's a 3. I don't think we can get anything with that. You just have to avoid all the different things moving around the screen. I don't think 2 will work. Let's see if we try it. Oh, it works. Okay, the other one falls down. So that means we can knock out this one too. Oh, and we got blocked. So usually the platformers we see that are like this, they're, you know, like Panic. Or whenever you can't jump in the platform, you just need to move around. Let's see if we can finish this up. Last one. Oh, and you got us with the rock. Just like on the marquee. Or the bezel around the background. I know, doesn't it feel like it has hints of that kind of puzzle game? And then you line them all up. It almost feels like we're playing... This is a job game, you know, like you're playing a game. Oh, here we go. We're actually... Wait a second. Sweet. So yeah, it's half shooter, and then I'm still not jumping, but now it feels like I'm doing a... I need to move up, get as many as I can, and catch them. And if you catch them, you get the points. Oh, but if you miss them, then it falls down. And, oh, that's a nice bonus stage. I like that. Yeah, way before those games came out, Palpuck, too. All right, let's do it again. Catch it. Yep, so knock it off, catch it, get the points. This really feels like a shooting gallery, but the catch element's unique. That's nice. It's the dynamite. It's yet another workplace in video games we've played that you wouldn't want to work at. Throwing and catching dynamite. So that's Portman. Dockman and Portman, I really can't tell the difference between the two. They play identical. They're probably just name changes. Here on the show, if a game has a different name, we're going to play the different name. Sometimes if there's little differences, we're definitely going to play the game if it has a different name. But then very rarely do we play a game that it's a different name, but it plays almost the same as the other game. But here on the arcade, I want to play every single arcade game, and this is no exception. Looking over the chat, I already see a 3 or around the average range of the arcade games you could play right now. Throw out those ratings. If you're new to the show, the rating system goes where we have all the games we've ever played. You can only rate based on what is out there right now. In October 1982, and so this would be all the games that would be in the arcade. Would you call this a broken game? You would be rating around the 1 star, somewhere around the 1 star rating. If you call this a bad game, then you'd be rating this around the 2 star range. If you call this an average game, you'd be rating this around the 3 star range. If you say this is a good game or well done game, excellent game, then you'd be rating around the 4 star range. But if you tell yourself this is one of the best arcade games you could play right now, then you'd be rating it around the 5 star range. I would not be in that category. This one's all right. I applaud them for trying something different, but this kind of gameplay, it feels like work. And it doesn't really hold the puzzle motif that I just noticed, and it doesn't really hold like the arcade game feels more a little sluggish and slow, considering the other ones out there. Yeah, looking over the chat, I see some more 3s. Oh, lots of 3s, actually. Yeah, Manly, there's no meat here. There's only dynamite in packages. There's Charlie saying 3.5, too. Oh, we can throw rocks back at the monkey. That's awesome. I do like this bonus stage, though. The bonus stage, I would say, plays better than the main game. Or I should say second screen. Because this technically wasn't the bonus stage. This is the second area. But now we can get revenge. And it's not a monkey. It's a man that looks like a monkey. I wonder if you can catch them all. If you have good enough timing. Oh, look, and it bounces around. You got to watch out for it. And if it does drop, then, yeah, it's going to blow up part of the bottom of the screen, so you lose your platform. I like that area. That's really nice. All right, so there's a quick taste of Portman. Of all the games right now on the arcade, I would say this is still fairly average. Around the 3-star range, considering everything else you could play up to this point. Appreciate all the chats and ratings to keep us going. So Portman, just like Dockman, it's middling arcade game. Put the quarters possibly in something else. All right, and with that, let's press forward and see what our next hot new video game is. These families are learning about home computers. Coming up next is the Atari home computer, and this is Protector 2. Let's check out Protector 2, the sequel. Here's the box. Wow, amazing. The artwork for home computer games is getting better and better. It looks like the ultimate sci-fi game. Now, Protector 2 is obviously the sequel to Protector that we saw in May 1982. Pretty soon we're going to see the first Protector released on the Commodore VIC-20 soon, and this one, because it's on the Atari line of home computers, is our 367th video game for the Atari 400 or Atari 800. Amazing. Yeah, so I love this box. Very, very well done. Another one by Synapse Software. 6 levels of lightning-fast machine language play, and it requires joysticks. Get your Atari a VCS joystick plugged in, and we are the last hope, as usual. Let's see the other art we have for Protector 2. Do we have anything else? I want that as a poster. It's awesome. Yeah, there's another example of a more scanned-in box. This one is the 8th game by Synapse Software so far, doing exceptional titles out there like Seamus and Nautilus. Check them out. Besides the box, the inside sleeve gives us, oh, this is just an alternate box, the same story that they're giving you on the back. We'll need 16K, only 16K on our Atari. That's awesome. Here's an ad you would have seen in the catalog, well, along with 2 other games we haven't seen yet, Ford Apocalypse and Survivor. Here's Protector 2. There's the cartridge we're going to pop into play on our Atari home computer. Or random 5 1/4 floppy disk. I don't even think that's real. It may not be. Oh, the volcano. We have to check out for that one, too. So here's the manual. This one's by Mike Potter. Mike Potter was with Crystalware. He's now with Synapse Software. We've already seen a couple games, or several games by Mike Potter, including Chicken and Nautilus. If you have the cartridge, it makes you have 16K of memory. The object of the game is to be the first to transport all 18 people from the city under attack by the Frogsolian slime hordes. Hey, slime! That's another game by Synapse Software. Here's the story. Oh, yes. There's very much Defender vibes coming from this game. It breaks down all the different things you're going to be going up against. The manual is very informative, similar to the first Protector, but this one has, I'd like to know all the differences between 1 and 2, because there's not a lot online that tells you what's the difference between Protector 1 and Protector 2. Yeah, we're going to see other ports to this too, Curtis. This is the first time we've seen Protector 2. We have options that you can push on your Atari home computer to change, and command ratings when you get to the end, and even some playing tips. So we'll be the best Protector out there.
Italian,
nice.
the other, no foreign languages.
All right, lots of alternate versions. Let's pop in and play the first one. This is Protector 2, Mike Potter and Synapse Software Corporation at sometime in the beginning of October 1982. Oh, yes. Now get ready, because if you think Defender's difficult, if you think its sequel is difficult, then Protector 2 is really for the pros. Starts off making us feel like we're in the arcade vibes. And Atari has been a home computer that's given us very good playing in the arcade vibes. Alright, so we can start to begin, or we can do different options. I'm going to start with level 1. I'm not going to push select for game options, and then push start to go. Yes. We enter our base. Notice we have fuel that we can refill over here on the side. There is our ship. Feels very much like I'm playing Defender, because I can move left, I can move right, can fire. Look at the shot. The firepower looks amazing. I also have this very slow gravity. If I don't move the joystick, look, I'm slowly falling. So you're kind of having to battle the gravity. Your ship doesn't just float on top. All right, let's go find some survivors and get them back. But I want to admire the landscape. Look at all the different enemy types. This feels more polished, at least visually, than Protector 1. And as I move myself around, the manual that was boasting the multiple levels, they actually all string together. So you don't go from one level and it fades to black and you go to another level. It just keeps going and scrolling, which is kind of cool. Take a look at that volcano. Oh, and we already blew up and died. We fall down in the parachute. Nice. I know you have to be practicing a lot to play this one. It is very, very difficult. It feels like the controls are supposed to be fine-tuned, like to keep you on your toes. Like I need to really be careful how I move the joystick. See, watch this. I gotta get in close. Pick up one of my. Oh no. Nice and easy. Drop it. Nice. No, I want to pick it up. Come on. Come on. Take the bait. There we go. Got him. Okay, let's take him back. Make sure you don't hit anything else. Nothing else. Alright, I think he died. And I think I died. You have to be so deliberate with the joystick. Now, I am not complaining that it's bad controls. It actually is very well done controls. It just takes practice because it feels like you're flying a spaceship. Alright, and you can also just totally destroy everybody if you wanted to. Just shoot everyone if you want. Oh, the other side. Thank you. Thanks, Curtis. Alright, here we go. So we'll pick someone up. Go around the side. And remember, your Atari joystick only has one button on the top. Make it over the top. Nice and easy. Alright. Slide through. You have so much to fly through. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Look at all the... You have laser bases flying at you. So cool. I love all the stuff in this. And once again, it's another Defender title that I just want to keep playing way more. This is one you can sink your teeth into and dive hours and hours of gameplay. So much fun. Look, we got one of them trying to take... Oh, and the volcano got me. I knew it was coming too. Yes, that's right. Thanks, Curtis. I appreciate it. Man, this is just so much fun. The side-scrolling games where you're playing as a ship or Defender style, this one's just top-notch. It's awesome. Yeah, see, avoid the volcano. Don't get exploded. Sound effects are great too. Okay, watch out for the lasers, nice and easy. I'm going the wrong direction just because I want to show you more of what you see. It's so cool. Oh, that's so fun. Yeah, I love the multiple landscapes. And if you ever want to get fuel again for this one, you just pull back into the fueling dock and fill up again. And this is just level 1. There's multiple levels and play modes. And unlike Nautilus, you do not play 2 players simultaneous on this one. It is a single-player game. There you go, Protector 2, just a quick taste of how to play it. So fun, a blast. Of all the games you could play right now on a home computer, this one's great. I would say above average starting for levels. If you look over in the chat, I'm even seeing, oh my gosh, yeah, one of the best games you could play right now on any home computer. 5-star and then a 4-star rating. Now, we've already played a few games that are very similar to Defender. This one is a package that doesn't just change from level to level, it actually gives you more than that. Oh yeah. 4 stars from Brian, yeah, a 3.5, higher than usual. Now, of all the games we've played so far, there's other Defender games that can hold a candle to this, but because of the way that you are able to go from level to level, have an objective, and there's this learning curve to this, I actually want to give this one a little bump. Instead of just saying it's a great or excellent game, I want to call this one of the best games you could play on any home computer. Protector 2 is a 4.5-star game. It is awesome. It's not pushing too many grounds that are better than other Defender games, but it's doing enough. Doing enough to make it a really fun time. I mean, the only one I can think of from by Synapse Software that would rival this is Nautilus, because it has the 2-player simultaneous play on a split screen. That's what would blow it out of the water. Yeah. Oh yeah, Tyler's saying 4 stars. Lots I see from the chat. So much fun. So there you go. That's Protector 2 on the Atari home computer. It's time to put our video game playing on pause, even though there's a bunch of pigs behind me still playing video games. I really appreciate everyone changing the time slot just for this one time to check out the show and play some new games in October 1982. We're still going to press forward playing everything. Thanks so much for joining me on my quest to play every single video game. Next time on Chronologically Gaming, we have games from the UK, games from Japan, and games from North America. Plus, the shoot 'em up in the arcade that you forgot. That's it for today, and like I always say, a bow and arrow and meat is the weapon of choice when your wolves are coming after your children. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.